Hello, I'm Clara Bizet from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. I'm just going to go on my live, make sure I'm here. I know I'm here. Where am I here? Oh, there it is. Where am I here live? And yes, I am. Okay, so we'll just wait for some people to come on before I start. I'm going to go deeper into the daily today, deeper into the daily read, which was all about, hey Nikki, good morning, good night to you. I've just been out to the pool and it's really humid out there. I've come back in and sweating a bit because I drank a cup of coffee out there. Got another one here that I just made. That's really hot right now. So that's my coffee for the cafe. Good morning, Nikki. I loved your comments on that video. That's funny. Maybe that's it. Ooh. It's interesting that Virgos was about letting go of those rules. Yeah, the daily read today was all about how to find our gifts. In fact, it was the general weekly read as well. It was about that, about strength and stuff. Still peeing down there. Ugh. It always does that. Yeah, it's beautiful here again. Did you like the background of those videos? The last videos I did, the weeklies for each star sign. Beautiful, huh? Got my Yorkshire tea. Yorkshire tea. The reason I haven't got my Yeti cup with my coffee in today is because it's got tea in it. It's got ginger tea in it because I had it last night. I keep on making it full every night of ginger tea, and then in the morning I have my apple cider vinegar in that, and it's still a little bit warm. It's nice. Absolutely beautiful and delicious. Gives me the green eye. Yeah. Just, yeah. Oh, and this, this island is so beautiful that now I've got the equipment to do it. I can take you all over the island, everybody, for my readings, which is great. So yeah, the daily read is all about strength. It's about our true strength. But it's more than that. It's about, so that's like not ego strength. So you know how when a kid is at school and they're not feeling strong, then they're the ones that the bullies, right? Some of them can express that as being a bully. Some can express it as being a victim as well. Yeah, some of them turn that into bullies, and we see that all over the world, right? Is that's the ego pretending to be strong. It's not real strength. It's not true strength. It's like an adaptation to not feeling strong. And we all do it in some kind of way. Women's thing tends to be manipulation. Men's thing tends to be the control. Women can do control too, but the aggression kind of control, manipulation control. We're taught how to do that. We're taught that that's our strength, right? But yeah, when we tap into our true strength, our spiritual strength, and we're feeling really strong in ourselves, then we don't have to do any of that coercive stuff. We don't have to manipulate or be aggressive or anything, because we're strong in ourselves and we've got what we need ourselves. We don't need to get it from someone else, and so we can just let people go when they're not in alignment with us, rather than trying to coerce them or fight them or bully them or manipulate them in any way. And how this shows us about our gifts, which is really interesting, is what the daily read went into, is when we're around our friends, right, they're our comfort zone, right? We can really be ourselves. We can be intimate with our friends, so showing them who we really are, showing them every part of ourselves, because they love us, right, for who we are. And so that comfort zone, we end up doing what our gift is. We end up doing what our service is to the world with those people, just naturally, right? Hey, Adat, how are you? And then when we get around the rest of the world, we're like, ooh, scary people. I don't know them. I can't be intimate with them. I'm going to put a mask on and pretend to be someone I'm not. And then we don't end up offering our service to them because we don't trust them, right? It's interesting because I was just brushing up my room and brushing up my balcony before thinking about this. I just listened to the daily read, and I was thinking about how it applied to myself. And I was always wide open because I was abused as a child. I was wide open to everyone because I had no boundaries. It's like the worst people I've ever come across in my house were in my home, and so everyone else was less scary to me. I was pretty much scared of everyone looking back, but I didn't feel that. It just felt normal to me, and so I was just wide open to everyone, every kind of person. And so I was like the opposite. I was like completely wide open, didn't have any boundaries down, like didn't have to do coercion or anything. I was just intimate with everyone, really, just like showing everyone who I was. And it was really interesting because I would get a lot of people would just come up to me and say and tell me the weird stories, the weird ghost stories and stuff, like not even knowing. Remember, like I was working in corporate, and that's what people would do there in the office. So like, I don't know why I want to tell you this, but I had this weird thing went on last night. And one time I had a breakdown. I had a VW camper van, and I was driving up to Scotland in it. And yeah, the engine just kind of blew up. Apparently it was the crankshaft that broke. It just broke. And the cab filled up with smoke, and then it all just stopped. And I was right on the motorway, on the M6. And so I had to call the rescue people. What was it? The RAC, I think I was in. And they came to get me. And so I put the van on the back of this truck, and I got in the front of the truck with this guy to take me to this centre thing. And on the way, he was like, I don't know why I want to tell you this, but I had this experience with when, I can't even remember what this story was now, but it was some angel experience that it had. And I'm like, I was just used to that. And I'm like, yeah, I know the reason you want to tell me that. And so I wasn't just like seeing what my gift was in my friendships. I was just seeing it with everyone. I come from, I live in St Anne's near Blackpool. Have you ever been to Blackpool? That's where I grew up. Well, I grew up in St Anne's, but it's like 10 minutes drive away, maybe 15, 20 minutes drive away. And yeah, it's quite a fun place to live near when you're growing up, for sure. That's where I started going out. And I've lived in holiday places ever since, apart from when I was at university. I was at university in Birmingham. So that's the only time I've ever been landlocked, and the only time I've been in a city. Oh, hey, Bobby, how are you? Welcome. Welcome to Psychic Cafe, Bobby. I keep on seeing your name popping up, Bobby. So yeah, so it's happened all the time with me. People wanted to tell me the weird stories about angels and ghosts and all kinds of things. And of course, the whole confidant thing, that people want to get some guidance from me, even when they didn't know what I was about, even when I didn't know what I was about. And so generally, everyone is doing their thing already. And it's just about growing yourself to be more comfortable about who you are, every part of you, so that you can do it with everyone. So that's the message for today. I picked out a card from one of Colette Baron-Reid's decks. I think it's the Avalon deck today. Yeah, Avalon. Whatever, Wisdom of Avalon, I think it is. And we got the Deer, which is gentleness and diplomacy. Let's have a look what she says about it. When the Deer appears, it's a reminder for you to step gently on the path. For you're walking into a time when gentle movements and diplomacy are required. The Deer's strength is in this quality. Make it your own. I know that your steps are successfully assured. Interesting that it speaks of strength. Hi. This, oh, it says my connection is unstable. Maybe I'm not connected. Come on, reconnect. It's not even raining and it's not windy. My internet shouldn't be dropping out. There you go, I'm connected. So yeah, it's interesting that it talks about the Deer's strength. It's been this gentleness when I've just tied in the strength thing and that not pushiness. So the deer's got that same kind of spiritual strength that we're talking about, when you know who you are and you can be who you are with everyone. And so if you're finding you can't step into your gift, doing it for a lot of people, it's not to force yourself to do that. It's like to take that path to opening up. It's an inner game, right? Just to take it slowly, because it's a gentleness. It's not about forcing it. It's like you can't force yourself to do it. You can't coerce yourself to do it. You can't bully yourself into it either. Because it really is inner work. I can see it in myself. It really is inner work. There we go. Light myself up. Can you all see me? Yes, drove in, went on the roller coaster there. I can't remember the name, the big one. Yeah, it's the big one. Maybe then drove out again. With Kiss Me Quick hat and a bar of rock, a stick of rock, Blackpool rock. There used to be a rhyme about that at school that the boys used to say. I'll let you figure that one out. So yeah, interesting that the deer has got this strength, but it's a gentle strength. It's important that you be gentle with yourself as well, for you may be heading into a period where you're unsure of your footing or just coming out of a difficult situation. Blend your personal energy with the deer's energy of gentleness and diplomacy. Walk softly and the way forward will be smooth. And remember, never mistake gentleness for weakness in yourself or in others. And that seems to be what a lot of people, like general society, seem to be doing, is respecting the opposite of that, respecting the lack of strength, those that are pushy, that shout the loudest, we see them everywhere. In politics, especially, and not respecting this gentleness, the true strength, this true spiritual strength. And when that applies to our path, sharing our gifts with the world, it's about us recognizing it, like us respecting this gentle strength. So maybe you haven't realized, but maybe you are respecting that bullying, that thing. Hey, Miriam, how are you? Mariam, sorry. Maybe you're respecting that bullying, the coercion. Ooh. Just got brighter. Awesome, you got some questions for me, go for it. So yeah, I'm going to go deeper into the daily stuff as well, more into that energy. Because I really feel like everyone's being directed toward their destiny now. It's like the time is right now for people to, it's like the collective consciousness has shifted enough for people to step into that now, and for us to start accepting what our destiny is, what we're here to do, and to share that more. It's like the gates are opened. I think that came up in someone's reading, week-ahead reading. That resonates big time for me. Dealing with an ex-narcissist, oh my God, and have to deal with him tomorrow for a court appointment. Be strong, Bobby. Be strong. Narcissist, oh my God, I had a relationship with one a few years ago. It really shook me to the core. I thought I was stronger than that. I was pretty good. It was pretty good to standing up to him and not taking that crap. But of course, I tried to manage it and talk to him about it, and narcissists don't do that, hey? They just turn it on you. So it was exhausting, and I was a mess when I came out of that relationship. It took me a long time to recover from that, get myself back. I was like a shell of myself. Crazy. Mariam, so yeah, good luck with that, Bobby. Stay strong. Mariam, usually my day, and stay strong in that quiet way as well. Don't resort to similar tactics, which can be really tempting with them. Mariam, usually my day is pretty bad in the early hours. Oh, but I find solace later in the day. Oh, I wonder why. Yeah, Free Will and Destiny, that's a good one. You've come a long way, Bobby. Okay, your personal question now about the early hours, I'll do that later when I do the personal readings for you all. But the free will thing, yeah, I really like that question. So yeah, there is destiny, okay? So it's like the stuff that we came here, when I say came here, I mean incarnated here. the stuff that our spirit wanted to do, right? Interest that it's got, stuff that it wanted to do, certain contracts with people as well. And so that's like the destiny part of it. And remember, our higher selves are always in spirit form, right? It's not like we stop being spirit form and then come here and are in human form for a while. Our spirit isn't in our human form. Our spirit is still in spirit form, helping us. So we're like, I don't know, Pokemon or something. So yeah, our higher selves are still there in spirit form, knowing everything about us and leading us all the time. That's how I do my readings, is I connect in with the higher selves. And so our human self is just trying to keep up with that and follow the signs and everything. And so and our human selves have free will, right? And so we've got free will, and we can choose things. We can choose things along the way. And so say, right, okay, so in Bobby's case, right, so say she is here to seek this true strength and true power, and that's what she's all about, right? And so when she was a spirit, she decided to put herself in situations around people that were kind of aggressive and abusive and narcissists and stuff. She had a contract with this narcissist, a spiritual contract with this narcissist to get together and to experience that, right? And then her free will human self, she's like, I've lived this before, I don't want to do it again. So she's not choosing that. Her free will is not choosing that. But her spirit is still choosing it because she's gathering more information about that, right? And so that's how it works. It's like our free will gets overridden by our destiny. Because if something, our free will is all good, and if it's got nothing to do with our life path, or if it's got no contradictions with our life path, then we can have it, right? We can have whatever our free will is telling us that we want. So the little details along the way and stuff. But if what you're asking for contradicts what your higher self knows is deep in your heart, or if what you're asking for just isn't deep in your heart, if it's a fearful thing, So if you're asking to win the lotto because you're fearful that you can't make that money through your gift, you can't work for it, you can't, if that request is coming from that fearful place, that lackful place, then that's not going to happen because it's not in your heart. But sometimes it's like, I give the example of the car that I wanted a few years ago. So this was pre-narcissist. This was about 6 years ago. I was trying to manifest a Porsche convertible car, and it didn't manifest. And I did all the work and everything. I was imagining it there in my garage, and it didn't manifest. But then a few months later from that, I was living on a yacht. I'm like, now I'm living on this tiny island in Thailand. I don't need a car here. But no one needs a car here, really, apart from the taxi drivers who just picking people up with big items, with suitcases and stuff. That's the only need you have for a car here. And so that didn't manifest for me. And so that's an example of my free will was overridden because it wasn't right for me. So destiny. Yeah, and of course, like this, it wasn't even in my heart really anyway, because freedom is in my heart for sure. Freedom is. So yeah, I hope that helps. Hey Warren, how are you? It's Monday morning, it is. I had such a big day yesterday. I worked about 10 hours yesterday on all those videos and everything and all the social media stuff. And trained, and he killed me too. Oh my God, he said he's going to do the same thing again today. So it's really quiet at the moment, the island. And so with my Muay Thai training, for those of you that are new, I do Muay Thai. I'm about to go to the gym as well and do glutes and stuff. But yeah, because it's so quiet, there's like, how many? 4 trainers there at the moment. One's on holiday. Because it's quiet, we're all one-on-one. So Surin, he's actually a taxi driver as well. He decided he wanted to train me and he's going to train me while it's really quiet because he pushes me so hard. So we did the first round, that was 10 minutes. The second round, that was 12 minutes, and that was it. I couldn't do any more because my abs were hurting so much. But it was constant boxing, kicking, constant, like fast, rapid fire, 10 minutes and then 12 minutes. But it's good for me because he really pushes me, and it's going to get me even fitter than I am. which I am really fit. So yeah, I had a huge day yesterday and slept so good last night. Mariam says, yeah, it's just the humdrum of my life. I'm really lost on the matter of destiny and free will. So yeah, destiny is the stuff that you've come in with. The stuff that's deep in your heart, not the superficial stuff. But the superficial stuff is okay. It's okay to choose what you want. Nikki says, same here. I wonder why knocks are so draining. Oh my God, they'll literally knock it out of you. Energy vampires, maybe. The knock I was with just drain me. They're like, yeah, because you've got to manage them because they won't manage themselves. That's what I found. It's like, God, constantly managing their emotional state, and they say that their emotional state is your problem. You did this to me. Oh, man. And of course, they don't give you any energy. They pretend that they are at first, but they don't. So it's very draining. Mariam, it's probably some of my Lilith cycles and moon cycles that have been bringing me down. Could be. Let's check it out in your personal reading. Oh, that does make sense. You ended up getting something better. Yeah. How do we know our destiny? Well, we don't. That's the thing. And you've got to just enjoy it because it's a really good story. Like if you think that your higher self, your spirit has got a great story for you, and just go with it. That's the best way to be. Just follow the path. You're a hardworking girl. Yeah, I'm hardworking now. I'm seeing the need. I might need an assistant soon for all the social media stuff and to do the all of the stuff that I have to do with videos before I can publish them. I prefer quiet. I like little islands, little quiet islands. Well, also, is it to say that humans are free to do whatever they want? It depends what you mean by they. Who are you talking about? Whatever they want? You mean the human self? Humans can do whatever the human self wants. No, that's not true. Humans can do whatever the higher self wants, yeah. So we've got these two sides of us. So no, from a human point of view, no. It's like, that's like saying, can a child do what it wants? Yes and no. It's like the parent, if they've got a decent parent, the parent is going to guide them and stop them from doing something that will harm them. It's like the same. It's like our higher self is this parent steering us, guiding us, saying, nope, you can't have that. Yes, you can have that. So the decisions, yeah, it's just like that, in fact. So the decisions that a child makes, some of them it's okay for them, and so the parent will say, yeah, okay, you can have that. So that's the free will aspect of it. And sometimes it's like, no, that's not best for you. You can't have that. So the higher self, from all the readings that I've done, the higher selves have come in with a particular interest. So mine would be in this connection, I guess, and manifestation too. That's something really important to me, to my higher self. Guidance, and all of that. So come in with particular interest, and you're in kind of a soul group with that. And so it's not just your higher self that's helping. There's other higher selves as well that are in that group that are all guiding you. And so it's more of an interest area, and then you're kind of working with them. So it's like, again, it's like a parent-child relationship. The child wants things for itself. It has an idea of what it wants to do when it's grown up. Yeah? And then it makes further decisions when it's here, that child. It's like sees something new and wants to do that. And that's the human self deciding on adding something to the mix, you know. And as long as it doesn't contradict what the higher self wants. So yeah, in Bobby's case, so Bobby, you might think, oh, I shouldn't have got into that relationship, but actually that relationship was probably destined. I think mine was too. The narcissist relationships will be destined. We need to experience that. It makes us way stronger, doesn't it? It makes us want to keep the hell away from people like that aren't sorting their own shit out. It's like, oh my God, sort your own shit out, people. Otherwise, get the fuck out of my life. Nikki, apart from freedom and empowerment, I would say love and connection seems to be coming up. Oh, for you. Yeah, empowerment's a strong one. Yeah, my spirit's got that one for sure. Empowerment and strong. Health too. Like that's coming strong for me. Do all of our higher selves want something in common? Like everyone? No. Like, so think about it. The narcissist. What does that higher self want? Sometimes they're here, kind of just playing a role for everyone else, benevolently playing a role for someone else. So it's not even that. Yeah, joy. Yeah, there's the generals, freedom, joy, and stuff. But okay, so Nikki, if everyone's higher self is here for the joy, what about that narcissist? What about that path? Have they chosen that? Have they chosen joy for it? Or have they chosen to kind of sacrifice themselves to play a part to teach people like you, me, and Bobby, who apparently need that experience? And let's face it, like they do help us to be more self-aware. We see the complete opposite of that, of non-self-awareness, not doing any work on themselves, not taking responsibility for their emotional state, not taking responsibility for anything about themselves. It shows us our own value, doesn't it? Because all the people that get attracted to me have got this level of awareness. They're taking generally they're taking responsibility for themselves, their emotional state, their thoughts. They're doing the work. Because people that aren't doing that come to me haven't a clue what I'm on about. And if they get a reading from me, they're like, they don't get it. They don't get it at all. One narcissist relationship is more than enough. Yeah. I've only had one romantic narcissist relationship. One is enough. I've had both overt and covert narcissistic friends. And yeah, the covert ones, the manipulators to get what they want, are very needy. But still got those narcissistic traits, wanting everyone else to change so that they feel better. Not taking responsibility for their own emotional state. Yeah. So there are people who choose to create suffering. Yeah, well, we have, haven't we? Isn't that what it is? Deciding to be in a relationship with a narcissist, we've created suffering for ourselves, but it's for good reason. So yeah, we all do. We all create suffering. That's what Buddhism teaches, right? And I was so resistant to that teaching in Buddhism when I first heard about it. But it's true, we all do. Various levels. And interestingly enough, those that are here to do the most things, those that are here to lead the way, to actually create something new, to go beyond what has gone before, whether that's in technology, in like material stuff, or if it's in emotional stuff like building, more empowerment in yourself, or whatever it is that we're focused on. We choose the more suffering than most. And so those people that have easy lives, they're not here to do anything significant in the world or in our lives. And so we choose more suffering when we're here to do something bigger. And then we ask for more, You don't ask for more unless you live hardship or some kind of contrast. But sometimes as a result of narcissism, there's bloodshed. Yeah. Death isn't such a big thing to higher selves at all. It is to us humans because we have emotional attachments to everyone and think it's something has gone wrong when people die. But one of my friends died 2 days ago. It's very sad. He was only 25. But yeah, our higher selves don't see the problem with death as much as humans do. In fact, not at all. They don't see a problem with death at all. So yeah, bloodshed, and it's what's worse, bloodshed or emotional harm. They may well play a role, but it's absolutely part of their own life path learning. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, they've got their own stuff going on, and like me and you will probably not even see what they're learning about. But generally, they don't learn about that, what we would want them to learn about, so that they stop doing it. Their life path is on other things. Unconscious stuff. Yeah, they're less aware. But, they're more aware of other things. Like I look back on that past relationship, and it wasn't all bad, It's doing amazing things in the world, in fact. It's done some amazing things in the world. Big things. For lots of people. In the health industry, and specifically. Mariam, but I choose to destroy that part of myself. What part of yourself? Yeah, I love that part of yourself instead. Hey, Susan, how are you? Very good.
I'm listening.
No, I said, hey, Susan. I didn't say, hey, Siri. They're always listening. I don't see a problem with death. In fact, I welcome it. Yeah, I don't see a problem with death. I've had a couple of near-death experiences, and it's actually a really nice. I've lost my fear of death because of that. It's a really nice experience. Sometimes I yearn for, I don't. I love it here. When you speak of the higher self, I think cookies in the cookie jar. Yeah, I don't get that. Maybe it's an American thing. I have their peanut butter cookies. I don't eat cookies. Although yesterday I had a chocolate bar before training, and I had a bag of chips after training. I'm usually eating 100% clean, but I can't eat enough clean food to even feel. I've got to eat some junk so I don't lose too much weight. It's crazy. Narc's energy flows the opposite direction to everyone else. First time here, what do we do? Okay, so at the moment I'm going deeper into the dailies, apparently, into the daily read, about our destiny, about our gifts, opening up to our true strength, which is like a spiritual connection strength, rather than when we don't feel strong and we are using coercion or bullying or manipulation and stuff to try and impose our strength, pretend that we've got strength. It's our ego pretending that we've got strength. Yeah. I don't get the joke. It must be an American thing. Higher self and cookies in a cookie jar. We don't even call them cookies, we call them biscuits. So I'm going to, we're at the half hour point. So I'm going to, rather than pick cards out, go deeper into the dailies because I've talked about it more than picking cards out. I'm going to pick my cards out for the day, and then I'm going to give little readings for you guys, mini readings. This moment, respect. Oh yeah, I'm having more of a day off today. I've got some work to do, but this is a clear day. This is a clear day. Respecting myself. Yay. And I've got get what I want, allowing it in. So I keep those cards out all day, referring back to them with the stuff that's going on. It's usually at the end of the day that it becomes more clear of what it was all about and how it was connected to that. The higher self. Still don't know what you're on about. There must be a cookie brand or something that's similar to the higher self. I struggled with commitment for life for many years because death isn't death. Commitment to life and to being here. Yeah. I actually lived on the edge a lot. Like I knew that I was like, no matter what I did, that I'd be protected, and I really pushed that. Oh, not self, the shelf, the higher shelf. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's an American thing. I don't know those cookies. Yeah, I pushed it. I really did. Okay, who wants a reading? Just pop up a message saying me, please, and I'll do that for you. So, Mariam, you had a question about mornings. Okay. Let's take that out of there. What's going on? Okay, yeah, this is interesting. Okay, a gentle okayness about, yeah, not wanting to wake up. It's like what we were just talking about not wanting to be here, like not wanting to be alive. It's like when we're asleep, that there's lots of stuff that goes on in the body to heal our body and stuff when we're sleeping, and especially the mind, the brain. But what else happens spiritually when we're asleep? It's like time back with our higher self. And so it kind of refreshes us spiritually sleeping. And so when you're waking up, you've got this reluctance to be in the human form. And so this is saying it's like the more you're okay about being here and actually start enjoying being here. Because like it's like a huge playground. I know I didn't feel like that for many years, but it is. It's amazing places like this to be, people to meet, and all kinds of great stuff that you can do here. And so yeah, once you're more comfortable with being here, being alive, then that will get better. So it's because you do want to be here, you know. If your higher self didn't want you to be here, then you wouldn't be. So Mariam, that's a big part of it. It's about your focus, Mariam. So people that tend to have like a negative focus on life and focused on all the stuff that they don't like about it will have the same thing. They don't feel good in the mornings. Go find a new approach, refocus yourself. Yeah, there's good in your future that you can't see, and you don't need to know it, Mariam. You know, you were the one that asked the question, I think. How do you know your destiny? You don't need to know it. Like that trips so many people up wanting to know it when it's a path, you know. I didn't know that this island was on my path, and you know what it took to get me here. Well, some of you do. It took me going out with a complete asshole, starting to go and traveling with him. I dumped him pretty much every week. I could stay with him for about a week. I was traveling with him, and it would just get too much. It was like so selfish. But I kept on going back and traveling with him. I don't know, it was weird, very weird situation. But once I got to the next door island, Copenhagen, I left him for good then and came here. And then this has been my home for the last 3 years. Not because I got stuck here, because I just absolutely loved it here. I'd lived on an island the same size as this in Australia. There's like all parts of my journey kind of led here. And I know I won't stay here forever. And I don't need to know what my journey is, you know. I don't need to know what that destiny is. Okay, who's next? So that was Mariam. Susan. Susan's up next. Right, Susan. I wonder what star sign you are, Susan, because this came up in one of, I can't remember which star sign it was, but it's about people. The flow is through people at the moment for you, and so open up to people, talk with people. You know, sometimes our guidance comes through signs, you know, like just things that you keep on seeing over again, maybe online, or like actual physical signposts, or you put the TV on and it's talking about something. So we get signs like that all around us. And then sometimes it's like through our minds. So we get an idea, we get inspired by something, we get an idea for something. Or like if you've developed it like I have, you can actually hear the guidance. And then other times we get our guidance through other people. And it's all through other people at the moment. That's where the flow is coming for you. And so if you find that you're a bit challenged with communication or with opening up to other people, especially because today is about, you know, opening up to other people. So you're generally doing what your destiny is with your close friends. So you're sharing your gifts with your friends, but not with other people. This is like, so opening up to other people is good for you. Oh, you're Taurus too. I'm Taurus. I can't even remember what Taurus reading was about. I'm doing so many readings. I'm like, whoa, what's it all about? Oh yeah. And Susan, you've got healing bifurma, and so it's all about the inner work at the moment for you, healing yourself, being really firm in that. That's what's important to you. So if you've been trying to manifest stuff in the external world, trying to get things going and earning more money or focused on relationships or something. It's like it's all about your healing at the moment. That's where your higher self is guiding you. It's the internal work. And yeah, I think I said in the Taurus video, this is what people do. This is why people have problem with Mercury in retrograde, is because they think it should always be about action, always be about manifestation, always external stuff going on. And so they try and make that happen in Mercury in retrograde, and it's like, no, now's the time for internal stuff. And so the higher self redirects us away from the external stuff by it not working properly. So like you buy something, it doesn't work, or you can't buy it. So if you try and do the external stuff when Mercury is in retrograde, it generally doesn't work. But if you're doing the internal work that you need to do, if you are focused more on the internal work with Mercury in retrograde, the healing and stuff, then you can do the external stuff too, and it does work in Mercury in retrograde. So it's those people that really have problems with Mercury in retrograde. They're not doing the internal work. They're not focused on that. So yeah. Susan, it's all about people through you, and it's all about your healing at the moment. So maybe, yeah, your healing is coming. You're going to get the ideas about your healing through people like me or other people. Same as me. Yeah, a lot of internet buffering. Mine seems to be okay at the moment. Nikki next. You're welcome, Susan. Nikki. Yeah, warmth, judgment separates. So this is about, we were talking about those people that are bullies or coercive, or all those people that are unhealed, the unhealed that are acting out and trying to assert their ego strength on people. It's not judging them. Like, you can see them for who they are, but you don't need to judge them for it. It's like, just, you can have compassion for them because they're unhealed. We all know what that feels like, right? To be in that unhealed state, it's not good. So don't judge them for it. You can still be warm and open to them, but you don't actually need to say anything to them. Do you know what I mean? You can smile and be nice to them, recognize them for who they are, and then back slowly away. So don't let it shut your heart down. Don't let these people affect you, either by you doing the same thing, emotionally reacting to them, and then doing the same thing, like trying to impose yourself on them or manipulate them or, control them or whatever. Don't let it do the same thing that way. And don't let them shut your heart down either by being judgmental and being cold. Yay. Nikki. Flowing abundance. Abundance has been coming out for so many people lately. It's like really in that flow at the moment. Whatever you need is in the flow. And that's the other thing as well with destiny and free will. It's like a lot of the times we're focused on the money that we want, or the abundance that we want. And our higher self isn't. Our higher self knows that we've always got what we need. And sometimes it's not what we need. If you think about it. Hey, Marilu, how are you? Yeah, if you think about it, if you look back, say 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whenever, and think if you'd have had those fortunes that you've been asking for then, what would you have actually done with them? Would you continue down your path? Or did you actually need it not to manifest so that you would continue down your path? Because abundance is whatever you need in the moment. It doesn't mean massive wealth and riches. For a lot of us, especially when we're going through a healing process, we don't want the massive amounts of money while we're going through healing. We'd probably shut down to it. We'd probably shift our focus completely, if we did. So yeah, just think what true abundance is. Often it's like freedom. But whatever you need in the moment is always available to you. That's true abundance. Okay. Nikki, that's Nikki. Mariam. Adet is next. Those emojis are really weird, hey? They're not round faces, they've got like big fat jaws like that. I wonder why they're like that. I don't know. Odette, trust yourself and you know. So you are being led. You don't need to rush it, I'm hearing. Odette, you do know you're following that path. No rush. You're doing well. You know you are. I'm pretty sure you know you are. You can trust yourself with that. Yeah. And the weights that you're having, so the slowness of your journey is because you've been building up self-respect. And I think we both know that about you too. You're respecting yourself so much more now. And so that's another thing for everyone. It's like sometimes you're not stepping into your destiny because you're not respecting yourself. The universe just won't let you. Imagine like someone that's not respecting themselves at all, someone that won't look after themselves, someone that, say, is being a doormat or codependent, right? And then they're like, okay, it's my destiny to be a healer and help a lot of people. Your higher self is like, not as you are, because you will just exhaust yourself. You will try and help other people that haven't asked you for help. You'll, you'll give yourself up. You won't look after yourself. It's like, no, first of all, you've got to learn to respect yourself. You've got to get rid of all of those negative traits like that codependency and stuff. And then it's like, once you're ready, once it won't harm you to follow that path to help a lot of people, if that's what your gift will do, then you'll be allowed to do it. But it's that inner work that's really important first. So yeah, that's the important thing at the moment, is that self-respect, and keep on working on that. Bobby is next. Bobby, you're moving away from struggles to a lot more fun in your life. So good job. And so a lot of the patterns that you've had going on, you are moving away from now. It's like those are completed, maybe not completed completely, like you maybe got all of the parts of the lessons from that, but you've had those experiences now and you don't need to continue having them. So you're moving to a much more fun time. Yay. Maybe tying up loose ends at the moment. We were talking about that court case or whatever it was. So Bobby, the most important thing for you at the moment is letting go of the thoughts that you've got. And so maybe you've been judging your path. As I said, like maybe you've been judging even getting into a relationship with the narcissist. Maybe you've been judging yourself, the decisions that you've made. It's like, stop doing that. It's one of the most important things about my readings is giving people the information from the higher selves of why they chose something, why the higher self chose something, what the lesson was, what they wanted to get out of it, what the gift was from it, so that they can stop doing this. They can stop judging the path, stop judging themselves on the path, stop judging the choices that they've made, stop thinking that they're wrong, stop focusing. This is a big one that's coming up for a lot of people at the moment. Stop focusing that there's something wrong with them, that they've got something to heal, to change the life experience. It's like, maybe there's not anything left. Maybe you're just growing now. So yeah, meditation is a really good way of doing that, of letting go of thoughts, because you can, when you're meditating, one of the aspects of it is being that, being the awareness of your thoughts. So listening to your subconscious mind prattling on about fear and negativity like it does. And sometimes it's just complete bullshit that it comes up with. Like sometimes it's just like random made up stuff, it's not even true. So we can tell ourselves like something, we can add, like, imagine like you've had a conversation with someone, maybe an argument with someone, right? Then your subconscious mind adds bits to it. So it's like making up that they actually said things that they didn't make up. And like all of our minds do that. Like our subconscious mind's just crazy. And so some things aren't even true. And so we when we meditate, we become the observer of our thoughts. And a lot of the time, some things aren't true. Sometimes just they're not useful. It's like if your mind, if everything that you hear when you're in meditation, your mind's saying is like what you're asking the universe for, you wouldn't want it, because our subconscious mind has a negative bias. It's there to protect us. So it has this negative bias to do that. And so you don't want to have your subconscious mind being that, running the show, being the thoughts that manifest, being the thoughts that attract. You don't want that. And so to let go of those thoughts, meditate more, be more aware of them. But that's great, Bobby. You're moving out of struggle and into way more fun. So I enjoy that. Okay. Just trying to see, there's a lot of messages. Okay, did Bobby? Odette's happy now, way more. Oh, for sure. You're welcome, Nikki. Warren says, decision this week. If I agree to trust fake system doctors and fake institutional doctors, or to do my angio or angioplasty or stents. I obviously don't believe in them and believe I will heal myself. I think so too, Warren. And with the stent, did you, I know that you looked up after me saying that the heart isn't a pump. And I know you did it, you've watched videos and stuff about that, haven't you? Flow down a pipe, right, which is our veins. If you widen the pipe, it doesn't help. It doesn't speed up the flow. It doesn't make it go faster, right? It doesn't make it flow better. When you widen a pipe, it has the opposite effect. That's when you get pooling. So these stents and stuff, it's like, well, if you make it bigger, it'll flow better. We know that physics says the opposite happens. You get pooling when things are wider. And so you might have seen that in that same research. I think you can heal yourself too. Do you want a reading? Or do I seek my inner wizard, fairy, and sorcery? Yeah, do that instead. By the way, it's a good experience. And although discomfort and fear, it's all good and wonderful and great experience. Yeah. I'm going to seek my Lorenzo's oil, the genie lamp. Do you want a reading? Maybe going to that, Warren, about your heart. Warren had a heart incident, everybody. In fact, it wasn't a heart. Was it a heart incident or was it a circulation? Was it your blood or was it your heart? Wow, yes, thank you. So needed this. Bless you. You're welcome, Bobby. Fire away. Was it your heart or was it your blood? Oh, Warren. Yours and Nikki's higher self should get together. Maybe they are together. Because you've got soften and open up to lovers, relationships. Artery's blocked. Yeah, it's your blood, so it's not your heart. Yeah, and that happens because of plaque, right? Not cholesterol. Cholesterol tries to sort plaque out. Like firefighters, it's always at the scene, but they're not to blame. One artery. Yeah, get into relationships, Warren. Oh, someone you're friends with. Who is it? A friendship turning into a lover. Calcium, okay. Are you taking like calcium supplements? Don't do that. That leads to plaque. You don't need calcium supplements. It's like you don't eat rocks. We don't eat rocks. We're human beings. We eat plants and we eat animals. We don't eat rocks. And so when you take calcium supplements, which is essentially a rock, it doesn't do us good. Not letting in love. Relationships, Warren. It's relationships for you. So nothing about your health. And maybe that will help you. I don't know. The blocks of calcium. Plaque, yeah, what's the plaque made of? All the crap that we eat. And it's a shame that I've got to eat crap every now and then, otherwise I'll lose too much weight and I don't have energy. But what can I do? I'm eating so much, and I'm eating more meat now. I have to eat more meat. That's making me feel better. I'm eating 3-4 times a day now, big meals. But yeah, unless I eat some junk, I lose too much weight. Relationships, I have a lot of relationships. There you go. Maybe one friendship is going to transform into more. Plaque building up is blocking, yeah. Yeah, it's the plaque that's the problem. It's not the cholesterol. Cholesterol is like the healer in the body. It goes around trying to fix things. Poor cholesterol gets blamed for all kinds of things. And it's also actually the cholesterol that gets blamed is the cholesterol that the body makes, which is different. It's not coming from the diet. The cholesterol that comes from the diet actually gets used in the cell membranes and stuff. The cholesterol that's formed, that the body forms itself, goes into the blood and tries to fix the problems that it finds in them. So interesting. I love health stuff. I was actually watching a video from High Health and what is it called? High Intensity Health. The High Intensity Health YouTube channel. Because I'm so interested in carnivore diet and what they're finding out. But this particular video, I didn't get to watch it all. This particular video is interviewing a guy who's written a book about the carnivore diet, and he's talking about the environment and how it's the whole arguments about the gases that it's so interesting that methane that cows and cattle and stuff produce is only a tiny fraction of what's causing the problem. In fact, the health industry, that poor diets is causing, produces way more greenhouse gases than cows do. It's like 10% or something. You dreamt of cholesterol. How do you dream of cholesterol? So yeah, I'm going to watch that video because it's really interesting. That guy's channel is so good, High Intensity Health. He interviews so many interesting people. So yeah, you need to heal your heart with love. I think depending on the severity of the blockage, maybe it's my nurse brain fighting with my spiritual brain, but sometimes a stent is needed. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, it's like, sometimes it's like emergency situation, But of course, a lot of the medical stuff is just that emergency situation stuff that don't fix the actual issues very well. We can do that. We've got to do that ourselves, right? We've got to do that ourselves with our diet and our fitness and stuff like that. We've got to keep ourselves healthy. We don't hate you for that comment. It's okay. And I know it's like if you've done some of that basic training, it's like doctors or nurses or whatever, you taught a lot of things that aren't true, but it's mainstream beliefs kind of thing. And it's very hard to go against that. I know. Yeah, relationships, Warren. He's dreamt of cholesterol, that's funny. It's very difficult, separatism, to do holistic medicine and physical medicine. But does it even need to be medicine? I've not been to the doctor for years. Oh, apart from when I stubbed my toe in it, and it wasn't even a doctor that I went to. It was just getting it cleaned out because I kicked some glass, went into my toe on the beach, ripped my nail off, and so I needed them to clean it up each day just to be safe, because here in Thailand there's lots of bacteria and bugs that we don't have in other places, and it can cause blood poisoning and all kinds of things when you've got a wound, especially. Apart from that, I've not been to the doctor for years. I take care of my own health with my diet and exercise and clean living generally. So yeah, for me, it's not even holistic medicine. It's not like I'm going to someone else to get other kinds of medicine because there's nothing wrong with me. I don't need to because I look after myself. Need to let love in. Yeah, Warren and Nikki got the same things going on. Yes, it is. There's a fine line at times. Yeah, it's difficult, especially when it's a complete turnaround. It's like, with the diet stuff, when we find, from the 70s when they were saying, oh, margarine is good and butter's bad. And then everyone starts having these plant oils and everything that we found is really bad for us now. And, low fat diets being good for you. And it's all completely back to front. And there's still so many people you still see on the supermarket shelves, the low fat stuff. And it's like completely the wrong thing to do. But there's still so many people believe that crap. And so when we have like the opposites like that, it's so hard to turn it around. Nikki, healing the dark murky water underneath. I have some way out there. Oh, okay. Yeah, Class was the healer. It's interesting, eh? Preventative is best, oh for sure. And yeah, I don't know if any of you are aware, but I also do weight loss coaching, but it's way more than weight loss coaching. The weight management is just a small part of it. It's actually very healing, all this stuff, because I do all this research for myself. I started training 2 years ago. I've always been into fitness, but I started training Muay Thai 2 years ago and increased that. And as I did it, I was carrying 53. So I was carrying 13 kilos more than I am now, which is, I don't know, what is it, about 30 pounds? I think about 30 pounds more than I am now. And it was making my workouts hard. It was putting stress on the left knee, especially. I could feel that my body was struggling with it, and I wanted. So then I started doing research on eating athletes, and I found out so much information. And then once I did it, I lost the weight really fast. Once I learned, and getting all the benefits like autophagy and all kinds of things. And so, of course, everyone started asking me what did I do because I had just such a major transformation. And so now I coach it too. I'm still constantly researching because, as I said, I need to eat junk food every now and then. I need sugary stuff, even though I'm eating a lot of fruit every day as well. I need more in order to not lose that weight. So I'm still trying to find that optimal, keeping my weight as it is. I don't need to lose any more. I've got a little bit of fat left, but I want to be able to train. So, yeah, it is. So preventative is best for sure. Here is what I'm doing. I was led to understand that I should seek fifth dimensional healing and created an entire group of nano-relationships that come to assist and clean the arteries. Started writing my comic book story around this, and my relationships are enjoying. Relationship is with the nanotech beings who are higher beings and deities to heal humans. It's interesting, the body's relationship with the mind too, of what we think about it. So we're kind of taught not to take responsibility for our health, that it's like our bodies aren't our friends and it's just going to go wrong all the time. And then we put our trust in doctors who often will give us stuff that makes it go even more wrong. But that belief in itself actually causes the cells not to work very well. And so you can imagine your white blood cells fighting whatever's going on in your body. And your body will work much better. But if you have that belief that your body's against you, it's going wrong, things are going to go wrong with it, you're going to get sick, and you will. I've not been sick for such a long time. I can't even remember. I haven't had a cold or anything like that for years. 2 years. I had a spot the other week on my back, big spot in the middle of my back, that bit that you can't reach, and obviously that I can't wash. Need to get my head on the pillow. Good night, Nikki. Well done for being here in the middle of the night. Don't know how you do it. That's awesome. I need this. Bobby. In other times, these nanopods beings would be fairies. Now we live in such technologies that turn them into nanopods beings and cartoons. Love it. Yeah, but that's what reminded me. It's like we can imagine our white blood cells, clearing things up, sorting ourselves out. Okay, it's past an hour. It's been an hour and 5 minutes, so I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go to the gym. That's what I'm going to do. What are you going to do? So thanks everyone for coming along. Don't forget to click like on this video and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Check out my other videos and stuff. If you want some help from me, one-on-one, private, then come along to behealing.com. Check out what I offer there. You're welcome, Warren. Thanks everyone for coming. Thank you. Bye. See you tomorrow. Probably. I know I've got a session with a client coming up and I'm not sure what day it is this week. Oh, Marilee's still there. Bye.